Egide is a quiet, thoughtful 13-year-old boy whose life until recently was filled with fear, neglect, and abuse.
We used to spend all day on the street. Then during the night we used to go sleep in the ditch. It was so cold, especially when it was raining. It was very hard for those of us who didn't have warm clothes. Some got pneumonia and died. When it rained into the ditches, some kids were even swept away at night and drowned.
Egide's mother is a traumatized and mentally ill genocide survivor who struggles with alcoholism. And Egide had resorted to stealing to provide her with food and other basics. Unable to cope, he finally decided to leave the chaos of home to live full-time in the streets.
I used to steal food and whatever I needed to survive. Then in the evening I would beg. People would often beat me just because I was begging.
But Egide had a guardian angel in the form of a social worker from Fidesco, a UNICEF-assisted center for street children. Invited to come into the center to wash and have a meal, Egide was eventually convinced by Fidesco staff to leave the streets for a safer, healthier life.
UNICEF is all about protecting children, and street children are some of the most vulnerable children in the world. So UNICEF ensures that centers like Fidesco that cater to street children offer them psychosocial help, counseling, good meals, a safe place to sleep at night, and also the ability to go back to school.
The chance to go to school has been one of the best things that has ever happened to Egide. Motivated and enthusiastic, he is one of the top students in his class, an academic star with big ambitions.
I have many dreams for my future. I could be a high-ranking soldier, or I would like to be a government minister.
UNICEF's expertise and financial support to centers like Fidesco create a safety net for children like Egide that every one of Rwanda's street children must have to eventually find survival, protection, and a healthy future. But more resources are needed if UNICEF is to reach every child that needs this comprehensive help.
UNICEF has put in place a broad child protection strategy, ensuring that there is an observatory that monitors child rights, putting in place committees at the village level to protect children, and also ensuring that the centers that cater to street children really have the capacity to give them all they need.
Meanwhile, UNICEF-supported centers like Fidesco are trying to reach every child they can. A visit by Egide's social worker to rescue some of the boy's friends still living on the street meant the promise of 2 more children who could now begin rebuilding their lives.
Fidesco is like my real family because they have helped me. Someday, when I become a government minister, one thing I would do for sure would be to start new centers like this one. That way, I could help all the kids living on the street who need it. I would help them the way this center has helped me.
Turi